Imagine you are on a boat with your family enjoying a vacation in the deep blue ocean. Water stretches as far as the eye can see, and everything seems normal. But then, in a moment, everything changes. Suddenly, the ocean water disappears completely, and you find yourself stranded on the barren seabed. Questions flood your mind. Where did all the ocean water go? Will it ever come back? Let's find the answers in this film that will leave you breathless. The story begins with a family on a boat in the Caribbean Ocean. This family has come to celebrate the birthday of their boy named Ben. They are all very happy, creating a memorable moment, but they have no idea that this happiness is only temporary. For a few moments, everything is normal. While they enjoy the ocean view, Ben's mom Julia jumps into the sea for a swim. Meanwhile, Ben and his father are busy fishing. But suddenly, Julia feels something huge circling around her in the water. When she looks around, she sees nothing. But then suddenly, something pulls her deep underwater. At the same time, the equipment on their boat starts rapidly changing direction, as if something massive is happening. Ben and Tom do not fully understand the changing situation because they are busy fishing. Meanwhile, Julia sees that in just a few seconds, she has drifted far from their boat and is drowning. She starts shouting for Tom to save her. But because Julia is quite far from the boat, no one notices her. And here, Julia feels that the ocean water is rapidly receding. Julia starts calling her daughter Cassie, but Cassie is wearing headphones and enjoying the sunlight. Ben, Cassie, and Tom have no idea that Julia has gone into the sea for swimming. Julia is drifting further away from them, but luckily, Tom faintly hears Julia's voice. He spots Julia and jumps into the water to save her. On the other side, Ben starts the boat engine and brings it near them. Luckily, Tom saves Julia from drowning. When they get close to the boat, Ben and Cassie pull them up onto the boat, saving Julia's life. Now, on the boat, Tom gets angry at his daughter Cassie. He asks, "Where was you? I told you that when your mom goes swimming, you have to keep an eye on her." Cassie apologizes and explains that she was wearing headphones. Anyway, now Julia is safe. Tom says that from now on, no one will swim without telling anyone. And if anyone does go, they must inform someone first. Everyone agrees with Tom. Now night is approaching, so they all start preparing to celebrate Ben's birthday. After celebrating at night, Cassie's boyfriend video calls her. Cassie tells him that they are all enjoying a lot on the boat, but her boyfriend tells her to quickly come to the surface. The TV is saying that something very big is about to happen. It will be unusual for the whole world. Hearing this, Cassie notices that behind her boyfriend, a massive storm is approaching the city. She becomes a little worried because at that time, they were definitely not in a safe place. She starts talking more with him when suddenly their connection cuts off. She tells this to her mom and dad. After that, they start checking the safety of their boat. While checking, they notice that many whales and sharks are circling around their boat. Whales or sharks are not found in this area. Tom was an ocean explorer. That is why he knew that whales or sharks do this only before a huge, terrifying storm arrives. They had sensed the coming storm, but first, they had to deal with the shark. Before they could do anything, their boat gets a powerful jolt. Everyone becomes very scared. Tom understands that some large creature has collided with the boat. To check it, Tom goes underwater. He sees a huge dent on the bottom of the boat, likely caused by a large shark. After checking this, when Tom comes back up, he has a deep wound on his shoulder. Julia stitches his wounds. Tom tells his family that because of this dent from the shark, the engine has broken down. Now we cannot move the boat forward. They are stranded in the ocean, and now their only option is to call for help. But when Cassie goes out to call, there are no signals. Their boat's communication is not catching any signal. They are all worried why everything has suddenly stopped working. Now, in this difficult time, Tom checks their food and drink supplies. They have enough food for 4 days and nothing more. But a small hope of survival is that they are on a shipping route, and a passing ship might see them. After that, they would rescue them. Now, during these conversations, they hear a powerful sound from outside. When they go out to look, a large meteoroid is coming straight toward them. It could collide with their ship, and to escape it, Tom quickly starts the boat. But he knew that if he did that, their boat would be ruined. And that is exactly what happens. Their boat engine is completely damaged. But they had no other option. If he had not started the engine and moved the boat, the meteoroid would have hit them directly. Tom sees that these falling objects are actually satellites. That is why suddenly, radio and telephone signals have stopped working. They had not fully recovered from this accident when another meteoroid also starts moving toward them. Now, to save themselves, they could do nothing else. That is why they go to the lower part of the boat and wear life jackets, so that if the boat overturns, they do not drown. When they are inside the boat, it starts shaking violently. They all understand that now they will not survive. Then suddenly, they hear a powerful sound, and they all pass out. When they regain consciousness, they find that they are alive. But surprisingly, there are many small and large holes in their boat, but water is not entering through them. Now, when this family comes out of their boat, they are stunned by the sight. They see that there is no water below their boat. Fish are lying on the ground around their boat, and their boat is in a barren, mountainous area, as if they have come to another world. This place has completely changed. Where there was water until last night, now it looks like tall mountains and pits. They quickly realize that they are not in a desert, but still in the middle of the ocean. Just all the ocean water has shifted from here to somewhere else. Now Tom quickly takes out his compass and checks the direction, understanding that something has gone wrong with the Earth. The Earth's poles have changed. The North Pole has taken the place of the South Pole, which has gone to the north. And because of this, all the ocean water that was on land has gone there, turning the ocean into land. After discovering this, they are stunned. Tom tells them one more terrifying thing, that all the humans who were on the living land would have died. This news hurts Cassie a lot. She locks herself in the cabin, having learned that her boyfriend is no longer in this world. But now, there was one more thing they were about to find out, and hearing it would shock them. Anyway, now Julia starts gathering the remaining food, and Ben releases all his birthday balloons into the air, hoping that if anyone is alive, they will come to them, and together they can face this situation. After that, Tom tries to contact someone via radio. He hoped there would be no response from the other side, but surprisingly, he gets one. This response is from a captain named NATO, who knows about the ocean shifting because he was in his submarine like Tom's family. Tom asks the captain what they should do in this situation now. The captain tells them something that makes the ground slip from under their feet. The captain informs Tom that the Earth's poles will return to their place in about a week. That means in a week, the ocean will return, and its waves will be very dangerous at that time. That's why the captain tells Tom he will survive in the submarine, but they should find a high place for themselves quickly, as their chances of survival will be higher there. Hearing this, Julia immediately tells her children to pack. Tom tells the captain that his submarine also has better chances of survival. So, can you keep my family? The captain says, "Of course, brother, I want to do that, but I can't, because one of my companions has died in my submarine, and there is space for only. I can keep one person, but one will still remain outside." And here, Tom requests the captain to please somehow keep both of his children. In return, I will give you all the remaining food we have. After which, the captain agrees, and he manually explains his location on the map to Tom. After that, Tom estimates the submarine's location and tells his wife they will reach there in just 2 days. That means before the ocean water comes back, we can safely reach our children there. And in this way, both our children's lives can be saved. The next morning, this entire family was ready for their journey. Then, Tom sees a strange man walking toward them with his dog from far away. Tom sees that the man is injured. That's why Tom wants to help him. He takes a water bottle and goes to him. After drinking Tom's water, instead of thanking him, that man attacks him, and Julia sees this from a distance. Then the man attacks Tom with a knife nearby and takes his life. After that man moves toward Julia. Now, she couldn't save her husband, but quickly she goes inside the boat and locks both her children in the cabin. After that, she gives Cassie a flare gun and says to use it when we are in a very difficult situation. Now, they are just talking when that man reaches their boat, and to escape him, Julia goes inside the bathroom. Now, the killer starts searching their boat, and as soon as he finds food there, he starts eating. He pounces on the food as if he has been hungry for many days. After eating, when he starts looking for Julia, after that, he goes straight toward the cabin. But when he gets there, he finds out that the place from where the sound was coming is empty. Actually, Julia had escaped through a hole in the boat, but that man's dog sees Julia and starts barking at her. Now, in desperation, Julia has to kill that dog to silence it, and she hides under. Although normally, she does not get caught by that. But when he looks out and sees his dog dead, he understands that Julia is outside the boat. Now, as soon as he gets down from the boat to catch her, Julia goes back up on the boat, and using a broken glass as a path, she comes inside the boat again. But after a little while, Julia gets caught in that man's hands. He grabs her by the hair and starts beating her. He starts choking Julia. Now she starts fighting that killer in some way to save her. Cassie, who is watching all this from the cabin, remembers that this is a good opportunity to use. She fires the flare gun, causing the man to fall far away. But nothing much happens to him. Just, they get a chance to, and fire also starts in the boat. Now, Julia quickly comes out of that boat to save her children. While coming out, that killer attacks Julia once again. But this time, Julia kicks him and throws him back. After coming out, Cassie and Ben start crying upon seeing their father's dead body. They had not expected all this at all. Ben blames himself for his father's death. He says if I had not released those balloons in the air, that man would not have seen them and come here. Now, here Julia is clinging to her husband and crying when she sees that the killer comes out of their burning boat, and now, it is not safe for them to stay here. That's why she takes her children and runs away from there. A little later, their burning boat explodes. Running and running, they get very tired. That's why they stop behind a hill to rest, thinking that perhaps this killer has stopped chasing them here. Ben is still crying here. Cassie encourages him and gives him clean water to drink. But Ben even refuses to drink water. Julia explains to her son that it is not your fault. You released the balloons in the air for help. Then Julia sees that the killer is still coming after them. Now, all three quickly start running to escape the killer. Running and running, they get very tired. But whenever they look back, that killer is coming after them. Now these people do not stop, keep running continuously, and reach a place where there is poisonous water. Anything could happen to them while passing through here. But Julia orders her children to pass through here only. After passing through the poisonous acid, their condition becomes quite bad, and Julia realizes that Ben has become dehydrated. They had some last drops of water which they gave to Ben, but his thirst was not quenched with so little water. Now here, Cassie has also lost courage. She says wherever we are heading, perhaps there will be a submarine or not. But Julia scolds her. Be quiet and do exactly as I say. We will move forward and I know that I will save you. On Julia's saying, they start walking again. And moving forward, they see a plane that must have crashed into the sea years ago. These people hide inside the plane, and Julia looks at their family photo one last time, which they took last night. Seeing that photo, everyone remembers Tom. These three cannot believe what has happened to them in just one day. Now the night has become quite late, and these people are also tired. Cassie and Ben have fallen asleep. Then someone's voice wakes Cassie up. She comes out to look, and sees that the same killer is coming after them. Now these three had to get rid of this killer at any cost. That's why Cassie pretends to sleep sitting in the same place. The killer thinks she is sleeping. And as soon as he comes to attack, Julia attacks from behind. This time, Julia is very angry. She attacks him so much that she takes his life. Finally, their danger ends, and Julia sleeps peacefully. In the morning when they wake up, they see that the killer's body is in very bad condition. Some creature has cut him and hollowed him from inside, from which they guessed that there are dangerous creatures around here. Now, they had to quickly reach where the captain's submarine was. Julia is looking at her map. On the other side, Ben is wandering in search of water. Going ahead, he sees water and starts drinking without thinking. Julie had forbidden it because that pond was poisonous, but Ben was so thirsty that he did not listen to Julia. Julia sees him and runs to stop him from drinking water, but by then, he had drunk quite a lot of water. A little later, Ben becomes ill and is not in a condition to walk. That's why Julia and Cassie make a shelter there and rest for a while. Then Julia hears strange sound. When she goes out to look, she finds out that a huge number of crabs are moving toward them, and to escape them, they start running. After running a little further, some distance away, they see a very large ship. It is a cargo ship with many containers on it. Many people had taken shelter in these because as soon as they see these three, they all hide in the container. Actually, they did not run from these three, but the crabs were coming behind them. These three go near the container and start begging and requesting to open the door, but they do not open the door for them. On the other side, a very large army of crabs was. That is why now they had to do something themselves. They had no other way. Therefore, Julian and her both children decide to climb on top of the container. Julian first makes her both children climb on top of the container. Now, as Julian climbs up, a crab comes and bites her leg, but somehow she frees her foot and climbs up. Now Julian ties her wound with her scarf, after which she passes out. Cassie and Ben see that those crabs are cutting the container and going inside it. And those crabs attack the people inside. Now those people try to kill those crabs with the weapons they have, but the number of crabs is too much. These people cannot stand in front of them, and the crabs kill all the people inside the container. The next morning, Julian regains consciousness. She sees that her both children are not there. She becomes terribly scared that something might have happened to my children. But then from far away, she sees Cassie and Ben coming, who had actually gone in search of food, drink, and weapons. Anyway, now here those crabs are also not there. Now Julian treats her crab bite wound, while Ben collects the weapons of the people who died inside the container so that he can use them for his own safety. And they also find a little food there. Anyway, after this, Julian contacts the captain, on which he says that the same creatures have also attacked, and now I am very badly injured. I cannot help you. And along with this, he also tells Julian that now the ocean water is going to come back to its place very soon. That is why these sea creatures have come back here again. Julian starts crying because these people also did not know in which direction to go to reach the sub, because in the running all night, their map had also fallen somewhere. That is why the captain, for their ease, fires a flare in the air with his flare gun, and Ben sees it. But that place was very far from them. These people start moving fast toward the submarine. But reaching there still seemed impossible, because to reach there, they had to pass through a rocky path. While passing through there, they might have to face those crabs again, due to which their lives could be lost. Now, Cassie also starts feeling pity for her mother. What will happen to their mother? The captain will keep me and my brother in the submarine. But what about Julie? Because in a little while, water is... Julian tells Cassie that you don't need to think about all this. When we reach the submarine, we will decide there what we have to do, and says, let's move forward. While moving forward from there, their luck deceives them once again. Then, landslide starts there where Julian, who was at the back, a large stone falls in front of her, and now, Cassie does not want to move forward, but she swears to her that you will save yourself and your brother at any cost. That is why Cassie starts moving forward with her brother. When those people reach the submarine, they find no one there. Both start knocking loudly on the submarine door. But then, from behind, the captain comes who was badly. The captain said, look, 3 people can sit in the submarine, and my chances of survival are very low. That is why, even if I sit in the submarine and reach the surface safely from the water, I will not survive. Hearing this, Cassie quickly turns back and starts coming fast toward Julian. There, again, a flood of those crabs starts coming, where Julian starts shooting them, but in a little while, her bullets run out. Now, before any creature comes and attacks her, Cassie from above gives, and finally, with her help, Julie succeeds in getting out from there, and these people quickly run and reach the submarine. Now, these people, without wasting much time, sit inside the submarine, and those terrifying crabs also come after. But then, a very huge, terrifying sea wave is seen coming toward them, which was It looked very dangerous. It collides very fast and powerfully with their submarine, due to which these people pass out. When Julie regains consciousness, the surprising thing was that their submarine was not in water, but that huge sea wave had carried their submarine and brought it into a city, which was completely destroyed. Seeing which, it was clear that humans have now been wiped out from the land, and showing just this scene, the film ends. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed. Like the video, subscribe to Cinema Recap, hit the bell icon, and let me know your thoughts on the movie in the comments section.